Hey everyone, Virgil here from the Saligia cast and uh, other Saligia-oriented things. Um, as you can see here, or probably in the title, I'm going to be doing or playing some Dragon Age Inquisition. And we're kind of broadening our approach when it comes to our channel. We want to get a lot more things out there for you guys to enjoy. Hopefully you enjoy it. And yeah, so I'll jump right into it. I won't waste your time with anything. Though I will tell you that I did play Inquisition for a bit before I started this, and I really enjoyed the game. It's got a lot of potential, and it's really good. I do suggest you buy it. Definitely suggest you buy it and play for yourself, because your game will never be the same as my game or anybody else's game. There is just that much detail, just so many different things that you can choose from and go with. But yeah, I'll jump right into it. Right here we have DragonAgeKeep.com, and basically what it is a culmination of everything you might have done in the past as regards to the Dragon Age games. So right here we have Dragon Age Origins, and the Origin account actually links your Xbox account and all that type of stuff. So you'll have your characters from your Xbox account, and you can play on your PC and stuff like that. Well, yeah, only PC, I would imagine. But I'm not sure if the Xbox version actually allows for a PC version to come over. I'm not sure that. If any of you guys know, definitely let me know in the comments section below. But regardless, let's get right into it. So we have Dragon Age Origins. As you can see here, it's Dragon Age Origins, and basically, this is all the main choices that you've done in that game. And I'll give a brief overview. Basically, my character was a dwarf noble. This basically means he was killed during the fight with the archdemon. And here we have some other actions that you may have chosen. Here we have when you're with the Dalish and you have to mess with the werewolves and all that. Basically, I chose to have them unite together, and yeah, it was probably the best option, I say. Well, actually, there is no best option because it's just a story, but in my opinion, it was the best option. And some other stuff. I'll take you into the dwarven area in Orzammar to see kind of some special things that happened with my character. Probably the best one is the fact that he falls in love with, or I don't know, well, he doesn't really fall in love, he kind of just like, the girl comes up to him, he's like, yo, let's bang. And yeah, basically he does that. I forgot what the commoner women are called, the ones that try to have sex with noblemen. But if you guys remember, let me know in the comment section below. I just can't remember what they're called exactly. But regardless, a very important one is Dagna left to study. So that's a very important one. I think that's it as far as that goes. I'll run over to, and they have like Shale over here. I had Shale, so you can say you killed the architect, stuff like that. Dragon Age 2, I didn't play much of Dragon Age 2, and I didn't get mine imported over, sadly enough. But for the game, for Inquisition, I have Hawk being a mage. I think he fell in love with, what's her name? Was her name Mira? I can't remember. Meryl, okay, sorry, Meryl. Yeah, I think I had him fall in love with Meryl. And it was interesting. He killed the Arashok. He sided with the mages, obviously he was a mage. But as we all know, it didn't really matter, because you had to kill both of them. Sorry for the spoiler. And yeah, that's basically this whole thing. And then what you do is just go to export. So yeah, what you do is export it right by clicking this, and it goes right to your Origins account. Like, I'll do that. So it went right to my Origins account. And then what you can do is you can watch a video. It's a long video. I will put up a tag so you guys can skip it if you want. But if you want to watch it, you're more than welcome. I'll put it up for you to watch right now. Again, it's very long. It's probably like 20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes. But it gives a brief overview of like what happened and what's to happen in Dragon Age Inquisition. But here we go. Brace yourself, it might be loud.
If you believe the stories, mankind's pride gave rise to the Darkspawn. Countless in number and toxic to all life, Darkspawn search endlessly for an archdemon. When they find one, Darkspawn armies surge up from their corrupt barrows beneath the ground, and a blight begins. Grey Wardens are the only warriors capable of destroying an archdemon, and history always honors the one who sacrifices all to kill the beast. In the fifth blight, the Warden was the hero of Ferelden, a dwarven royal, second child of King Endrin Iduken. Framed for a murder and ultimately cast out, the young noble met Duncan, a Grey Warden, who saw the dwarf's potential as a Warden recruit. The allied Ferelden and Grey Warden forces met in Ostagar, where King Kaelin's armies and a host of Wardens gathered, ready to destroy the Darkspawn. But valor turned to despair as Loghain betrayed his king. Kaelin's forces were slaughtered, and the South was lost. The hero, now a full-fledged Grey Warden, survived with the aid of Flemeth, the mysterious Witch of the Wilds. Joined by Flemeth's daughter, Morrigan, and a Grey Warden named Alistair, the hero set out to build an army strong enough to abolish the Blight. With the traitorous Loghain now seated on Ferelden's throne, the Warden sought help from the influential Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. However, they arrived in Redcliffe to find the town under siege. As each night, undead rose in waves and assailed the battered village. With the hero's help, the people of Redcliffe stood fast against the undead horde. The Wardens reached Arl Eamon's castle only to find the Arl lying at the edge of death, and his court fallen into madness. To save his father's life, Eamon's young son, Connor, had made a deal with a demon, and quickly fallen victim to its possession. Connor's life was sacrificed to end the demonic threat to Redcliffe. But deals with demons are never straightforward. The demon agreed only to save Eamon's life, not restore him to health. Arl Eamon needed a miracle to recover. The hero located an urn containing the sacred ashes of Andraste, which were said to cure any ailment. The urn was protected by ancient traps, tests of will, and a dragon-worshipping cult that wanted to twist the urn's power to its own ends. The urn remained pure, but mysteriously disappeared after the Wardens departed. Only the temple dedicated to it still stands. With a pinch of the ashes, the hero restored the Arl to health. Informed of Loghain's treachery, Eamon swore his political and military support. The circles of Magi are bound by oath to aid the Grey Wardens in times of blight. However, Lake Calenhad's tower could offer little help. One of its mages, Uldred, had become possessed by a pride demon and was twisting other circle mages into abominations. The hero fought to the top of the tower and defeated Uldred, saving the remaining mages. Grateful for their lives, the mages joined the Warden's army. The allies gained at the Circle were not the only soldiers to join the Warden's forces, however. Dalish elves don't usually make alliances, but even deep hatred can be set aside in the face of oblivion. An ancient curse was destroying Ferelden's largest Dalish clans, turning the elves into werewolves. Zathrian, the clan's keeper, claimed that the cure required the heart of the great wolf Witherfang. Years before, Zathrain himself had afflicted a group of humans with the curse that now ravaged his clan. As long as he lived, the curse endured. The hero freed the werewolves from the long-standing curse, and the Daelish joined the Warden's forces. Blights may happen hundreds of years apart, but the dwarves who live below the surface of Thedas fight Darkspawn every day. No one is better schooled in battling Darkspawn than the warriors of Orzammar, except perhaps their allies of old, the Grey Wardens. The hero arrived in Orzammar in the wake of King Endrin's death to find political factions fighting for control of the dwarven capital. Only the vote of a venerated paragon could break the deadlock to elect a ruler, and order the dwarves to honor their Grey Warden treaty and join the battle against the new blight. The hero set off to find a paragon named Branka, who had disappeared into the deep roads in search of a legendary artifact, the Anvil of the Void, created by the renowned smith Caradon to forge mighty war golems. With Branka's help, the hero restored the Anvil of the Void, and a small army of powerful golems joined the Warden's forces. The hero emerged from the deep roads with a master-forged crown to bestow the paragon's favor upon whichever rival candidate would be crowned king. Balin, the youngest son of King Endrin who was suspected of foul play, or Haramont, the aging traditionalist backed by the Dwarven Assembly. Balin followed his father to the throne. He leads with a ruthless but progressive hand, seeking to re-establish ties to the surface kingdoms. With Dwarden's strength now bolstering the Warden's army, the hero had to deal with Loghain so Ferelden could stand unified against the Darkspawn before the Blight swallowed the world. The kingdom of Ferelden stood divided. While some nobles supported Loghain's regency, others condemned his inaction against the Darkspawn. Civil war brewed, and Arl Eamon called a landsmeet in hopes of curtailing the conflict and removing Loghain from the throne. Loghain was found guilty of treason, and the hero carried out his execution in Denerim's palace. As the Warden's united army massed in Redcliffe, the Darkspawn overran Denerim, laying siege to Ferelden's capital city. The hero's army fought valiantly through Denerim and broke the Darkspawn siege. On Fort Dracon's highest tower, the hero's strongest allies fought alongside the Warden in a final heroic battle against the massive archdemon. The hero of Ferelden paid the ultimate price, the life of a Grey Warden given to kill the archdemon and end the Blight. With no archdemon to lead them, the Darkspawn scattered. Most fled underground, still teeming in number and always seeking a new archdemon to awaken. The shattered kingdom of Ferelden embarked on a long journey to recovery. In the Blight's aftermath, strong leadership was crucial. Alistair, King Caelin's half-brother, and Queen Enora, Caelin's widow and daughter of Loghain, joined in a political union. Together, they ushered Ferelden into a new era. Ferelden still stands, as obstinate and resolute as the Dog Lords ever are, but the events of the Fifth Blight loom over it as the nation rebuilds. For people across Thedas, legends of the hero of Ferelden remain the nation's brightest beacons of hope during its darkest times. It all began in Kirkwall, the fall of Knight Commander Meredith, the Kunari Uprising, and of course, the Chantry's destruction and the onset of Mage Rebellion. One person always stood amidst the swirling chaos: Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall. The Hawk family fled Lothering, refugees from the Blight. Leandra, mother of the champion, and siblings Bethany and Carver hoped to find refuge at her family's estate in Kirkwall, far to the north. As a mage with a family legacy of magic on both sides, Hawk naturally became involved in the events that ultimately led to the Mage Rebellion. The Hawks escaped the Blight with the help of Aveline Valen, a warrior and family friend. It's said that the family was also aided by Flemeth, the notorious witch of the wilds. Hawke's sister Bethany never reached the free marches. She was killed by Darkspawn while defending her family. The family's first years in Kirkwall were difficult. Leandra's brother Gamlin had lost the family fortune. The Hawks lived in poverty, forced to indenture themselves in return for entrance to the city. To pay off the debt, Hawke was forced to work for a band of mercenaries. All the while, Hawke and Carver did their best to hide Hawke's magic from the Templars. Opportunity eventually struck in the form of a dwarf named Bartrand Tethras, who was planning an expedition to the Deep Roads. It was a long shot, but with gold gained from the expedition, Hawke could free the family from its criminal creditors and further Templar scrutiny. Hawke met a rogue Grey Warden named Anders, who possessed detailed maps of the Deep Roads. These maps were crucial to the expedition's success. Once Hawke obtained them, everything else fell quickly into place. Out of concern for his safety, Hawke insisted that Carver stay in Kirkwall rather than accompany the expedition. Hawke did find ancient dwarven treasure, but the group also stumbled upon a statuette formed from a strange red lyrium. Upon returning to the surface, Hawke learned that Carver had joined the Templars, pursuing his own fate instead of living in his sibling's shadow. The gold Hawke recovered from the Deep Roads brought back Leandra's stately childhood home in Hightown. The Hawks had barely settled into their new home when Leandra was murdered, a deeply sinister and twisted killing. Hawke hunted down Quentin, the blood mage responsible, but could not prevent Leandra's death. Leandra's tragic death was part of a critical problem facing Kirkwall. Rising tension between the city's mages, who felt increasingly oppressed, and Templars, who grew increasingly suspicious of their activities. Adding to the strain, a large contingent of Kunari had also established themselves in Kirkwall, much to the growing discomfort of the city's rulers. After their dreadnought was shipwrecked many years before, a group of stranded Kunari were allowed to remain in a cordoned-off area in Lowtown. As time passed, the Kunari made no effort to return home, and offered no explanation about why they remained. Tensions rose to a breaking point. Revered Mother Patrice, convinced the Kunari were a threat to the Chantry's faith, incited violence between the Kunari and the Kirkwall populace. Fearing trouble, Hawke supported Patrice's schemes to drive the Kunari from Kirkwall. Patrice's ultimate act was to orchestrate the murder of Viscount Dumar's son, Seamus, a recent convert to the Qun, and blame the death on the Kunari. After Seamus was murdered, the Arishok of the Kunari group lost patience with the humans of Kirkwall. They would now submit to the Qun or die. The Kunari struck hard and fast. They took the palace in Hightown and beheaded the Viscount to immediately quash any resistance. Aided by Knight Commander Meredith and First Enchanter Orsino, Hawke reached the palace and stood toe-to-toe with the fearsome Kunari leader. Hawke fought the Kunari leader. The fierce battle resulted in the Arishok's death and the liberation of Kirkwall from its brief occupation. The Kunari quickly withdrew from the city entirely. Hawke saved Kirkwall and earned the grudging respect of the city's Templars, mages, and nobility, along with the title that history remembers: the Champion of Kirkwall. Kirkwall's problems were still not over, however. After Viscount Dumar's death, Knight Commander Meredith took power and blocked all attempts to appoint a new Viscount. Under Meredith's command, the Templars tightened their grip on the mages, planning to suppress what Meredith saw as a growing rebellion. Anders, who spent years fighting for justice and freedom for his fellow mages, saw that the time for negotiation was past. He destroyed Kirkwall's chantry, killing hundreds, including Grand Cleric Elthina. This single act began a rebellion that spread from circle to circle, until all circles of Magi had risen up in defiance against chantry rule. There was no forgiveness for what Anders had done, and he asked for death at Hawk's hands. Hawk fulfilled the troubled mage's final request, and many others died along with Anders that day. Fighting spread swiftly through the city. Some mages rebelled openly, many of them succumbing to possession. Templars turned their swords on mages who rebelled and on those who did not. As First Enchanter Orsino refused to bend to the Templars, Knight Commander Meredith demanded that every mage in Kirkwall be put to the sword. Hawk saved many mages from Templar blades, keeping them from succumbing to possession or the temptations of blood magic. In the end, however, Hawk was forced to strike down Orsino, who had betrayed his own values by resorting to blood magic himself. The battle proved one thing: Knight Commander Meredith had gone mad. Hawk saw the truth of it when Meredith unsheathed her sword, and the red lyrium idol from the deep roads was embedded within it. The blade fueled her hatred and paranoia, as it had for months. After a horrific battle, the red lyrium of the Knight Commander's sword consumed her as she died. Meredith became a statue, her face a frozen mask of horror. Little is known of the champion since that final battle. However, Hawk's story lives on in legend and song. Memories of the indelible changes the champion of Kirkwall brought to the face of Thedas. The Mage Rebellion in Kirkwall was felt throughout Thedas, the news spreading like wildfire. The Templars clamped down in response, but each new restriction only made things worse. Led by Grand Enchanter Fiona, the mages voted for independence. The Circle of Magi would govern itself, without the Chantry and especially without the Templars. The result was cataclysmic. 2 circles were destroyed. Those within killed to the last mage, before the rest fled into the wilderness. Perhaps the mighty Empire of Orlais could have intervened in the war before it began, but that was not to be. Grand Duke Espard began a deadly civil war against Empress Celine, vying for the Orlesian throne. The mages were offered safe haven in neighboring Ferelden, but the Templars followed, and so their battle spread across all of Thedas. As head of the Chantry, Divine Justinia ordered the Templars to stand down. They refused, declaring their own independence. Thus, the war began in earnest. Templars hunting mages, mages fighting Templars. Their clashes wreaked untold destruction, and all sense of order was falling to pieces. Divine Justinia made one final desperate bid to end the war. She approached the leaders of both sides and convinced them to come to a conclave held on neutral ground. With the Chantry to mediate, mages and Templars will talk for the first time since this all began. It is our last, and perhaps our only, chance for peace.
So yeah, that was the huge video on them trying to explain the past and trying to get everybody in touch with what's going on, because the game kind of presumes you know things about the past, and when you first get into the game, some things might be confusing. And I'm going to try my best to kind of keep you guys informed with certain terms and places and names and all that type of stuff. Well, without further ado, let's jump into the game. Oh, actually, let me just talk about some few people before we start. We have, if you saw in that video, you have Empress Celine and you have Gaspard. Basically, those two are in a war right now over in Orlais. And those are two important characters that you're going to want to remember. And definitely you're going to want to remember Divine Justinia. Those are very important characters in the story. And just going to want to remember their names. And just remember who they are. Divine Justinia is basically the head of the Chantry. And it's an important name to remember, especially in the beginning. Okay, so let's jump into the game. Alright guys, so this is Dragon Age Inquisition. This is the starting page. Um, as you can see, we have the Templars on the right, and we have the mages off to the left, and they're walking towards the Conclave. I don't remember exactly what the Conclave is, but it's got a very Asian-esque, almost Japanese feel from what I'm seeing from here. I can't remember exactly what it looks like, but regardless, let's get into this game. Let's start playing. So, new game. Oh shit, it just blows up. And if you remember from the that little animation, is that Divine Justinia, sorry, had actually put, or is actually trying to get a treaty signed, or trying to bring these two groups together to try and come to some sort of conclusion and stop the fighting. But regardless, so last game I played a bit of Quinari, because they are my favorite. I'm not gonna do dwarf just yet, but I'm gonna do human. I'm gonna be human. I'm gonna do very tanky human. I'm gonna play tank human. I feel it's good. I feel it's a good story to go for. A tank human. We'll play normal. And basically at the bottom here, it's telling me basically that I was a human in the Tervellian noble house. I grew up in the Free Marches, in a city called Austwick, however you want to say it, and enjoyed a life of privilege with close family ties to the Chantry and many relatives among the priesthood and Templars. You were always expected to follow the similar path in service to the Maker, regardless of how you feel about the Maker personally. Willing or unwilling, you were sent to the Chantry's conclave, which was that place we just saw blow up, to assist relatives who sought to make peace between Templars and mages. It didn't go well, as you just saw. So basically for this playthrough, I'm going to be playing a very Templar-oriented character. He's not going to trust the mages all that much. He's not gonna be a nice guy. He's not gonna be evil or anything like that. He's gonna be nice. He'll be nice to the mages, but he's just not gonna trust them all that much. So if there's anything where you have to decide something between Templars and mages, he's probably gonna choose mages or any type of warrior type person, because he'll just trust that person more. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna use just warriors for my party. Obviously, I'm gonna be using mages and switching people up a lot. Enough so you guys can see all the different type of characters. And yeah, so he's gonna be very Templar oriented, very noble, very nice guy. So let's get into it. Oh yes, we're gonna import that thing that I put in there. There we go, perfect, and we'll confirm it. That was basically just importing oh my god, I'm losing it right now. The Dragon Age Keep thing that we just did. That whole file that we exported before. Sorry, it's 2 a.m. in the morning, so my brain is a little wonky. And these loading screens, I'll skip most of them, so you guys don't have to sit through it. But this one, I'll let you guys sit through just this one, and I'll skip the rest. And certain points in the game, you will have to... I'll have to speed up because there's some running around, similar to Skyrim in a way, where you're just like running around trying to get things done. And I'll skip or I'll fast forward the running bits and keep the the talking and all the interesting. I'll probably keep the combat stuff like that. So yeah, you start off like this. Oh my god, this guy looks like a dwarf here. So you start with like a custom head, and then I think I like this one. You start with a custom head, and then you kind of edit the details from there on. I like that head actually. The skin tone, I don't know if I want white or tan. The Free Marches. He's from the Free Marches, so I don't know what they would be. Oh god, I'm dying right. I can't remember kind of skin tone or even accent they actually have. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. Yeah, I'll go with tan because the Tint of Winter Imperium guys are really tan. They're pretty close. They're close enough. Complexion, I think I'm gonna go with a very rugged. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. Eye color, we'll go with light, something light, like a yellowish, maybe, or that. Oh, that looks cool. Hair, I was gonna, I don't know if I like that hair. I was gonna go for something long, but yeah, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to look through these. Hold on a second. Yeah, the hair is something they could have made better in this game. I definitely think the hair could have been a bit better. Definitely the beards. The beards are really, really bad. And I'll show you those in a minute. But the hair they could have did better. Some hair was cool. This one's not that bad. This one's definitely for a girl. But you can see how it kind of conflicts with the ear there. Like a lot of long hair does that. Especially this one was my favorite, but I think I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that one. That's still my favorite. Hair color, I'm gonna keep it brown, I think. Yeah, because the black is horrible. Let me show you the black. Yeah, like that is the black, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, I was right. Okay. Yeah. This is black. It, like, no. No. Just, no. Okay. So we'll go brown. Brown looks the best by far. And then the beard, okay. I definitely want to have a beard. I think I want to have something like this as a beard. I don't know if I want to go... Oh, also, I'm going to be definitely romancing Josephine. So, if you were looking for that in a video, definitely, stay tuned. I'm going to be romancing her. Because I didn't romance anybody last game. I mean, for the amount I played, I didn't romance anybody. I never chose, a romance option when I was talking. So now I'm gonna see what kind of things that offers. But let me show you some of these. Like this is a cool, like kind of funny one. Like a lot of religions probably have something like that. But then there's like, let me show you the one that Hawk has. Hawk has this one, and it just looks horrible. Like you can see through it. Yeah, it's just, I like the beard. Like, if it was better, it would have been cool. Like, that would have looked perfect on him. But, like, when you get in game, it's really bad. Oh, another little pro tip. Make sure, if you do get this game, make sure that you're happy with your character. Like, when you're done with your character, go into the game, play with him for about 5 minutes, and see if you actually like the character. Because when I was doing my Canary... And let me tell you, the Canaries are hard to make good-looking characters. They're really hard to make good-looking characters. If you're gonna make a Canary, don't think you're gonna go into the game thinking you're gonna make like the Arashok from Dragon Age 2. Like they look nothing like him. It's very, very different, and it's very hard to make an actual decent-looking one. So, I mean, I'm not ragging on it. It's a very good creation. I like it a lot, but they definitely could have did better, especially with the Canary and with the facial hair, and with the hair in general. But all right, I'm gonna go with this one. I think. Voice.
I just hope I can help.
You leave me no choice.
Ooh, I like that one. There's two voices.
Everything you've heard, completely true.
See, I like that one too for his voice.
As long as the job gets
or
done,
for his head.
I don't care about the rest.
Hmm.
As long as the job gets done, I don't care about the rest.
I like that one. Hold on.
Everything you've heard, completely true.
Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about, where I was talking about the accent. I don't know. I didn't know what accent the Free Marchers had, so I wasn't pretty sure.
I can help.
This guy definitely has an accent.
How much is this going to cost me exactly?
This guy, he has some sort of accent. I just can't.
I just hope I can
I
help.
can't really put my finger on it. Maybe it's just
As long
normal.
as the job gets done, I don't care.
Or
about the
American, I
rest.
should say.
As long as the job gets done.
Yeah,
don't
I
care
definitely
about
like. I used this one before for my Quinnar, but I think it definitely works for this character
Leave
as
me
well.
no
As well. So I'm gonna go with that. I was gonna go with the other one, but no. From here on, I'll probably just fast forward for you guys. So yeah, let me fast forward this from here. Okay, I'm back here. I'm just on the scars real quick. And I was wondering whether I should do a scar. Now, I'm definitely not going to do a tattoo. I feel that's way more dwarf, dwarf commoner or Dalish elf. So I'm not going to do anything like that. Unless I was like an Avar. That'd be kind of cool. Like playing an Avar. But that doesn't work for the story they have for you. That would be kind of cool if you can be an Avar. And if you don't know what the Avar are, they come up in the story. But basically they're like these kind of like old, the best way I can put it is they're kind of like, oh god, I can't speak right now. They're kind of like the Starks. Like they have the old, like they worship the old gods and they live up in the mountains and up in the snowy areas and stuff like that. So they're very interesting. They're very brutal. So, and they have kind of tattoos on their face as well, I'm pretty sure. But regardless, so Scar, yeah, I think I'm gonna, since he's a very battle ready type of character, I think he's gonna go with some scars here. I like that one a lot, I think. That one's pretty cool. And if you're a girl, tell me if you like scars or not. Or if you're a guy, tell me if you like scars or not. It doesn't matter. Oh, also one thing. If you get this game, make sure your lip shine is all the way down, because you will get into the game. You'll right in the beginning. You'll be in a dungeon and your lips are gonna be shining like more than the fucking light in the room, or like a torch in the room. Like that's how bad it is. I suggest taking it all the way down. I mean, unless you were going for a very flamboyant look, I guess you can go for that. But my guy's very low fantasy, very gritty and dark, and so he's not gonna have flashing lips. Okay, so that's it. I like him. I think he's cool looking. I don't know how he'll look in game, but I like it. But you can see how the facial hair isn't as good as you might hope. You can see the bottom near the chin, near the cleft area. There's kind of that lip of hair. So I mean, some things could be better. But regardless, let's get into this game. My character's name is going to be my alias online, which is Virgil, and his last name, I forgot what the hell their last name was, but regardless. And I'm playing with the Xbox remote, because I normally play RPGs with the Xbox remote. That's just something I always do. So I apologize. But yeah, so let's watch. I got these little spider things. Later on in the story, there is a reason why these things are actually following you, which is pretty interesting, but I'll let you guys watch. Oh man, it's gonna be really hard for me not to click X, because I skipped. I tried doing this part like 7 times, and I skipped like a lot of it all the time, but it's gonna be a little hard for me not to click it. So if I ever click it, I apologize. And yeah. Okay, so we're in a dungeon here. And as I was saying, like, if you have your lips shining, like, your lips shine more than the light in the room. More than the giant green thing on your arm. Or on your hand. Yeah, I think he looks pretty good. I like the way he looks. He's not bad. And if you guys play Dragon Age 2, you'll know who this is. Or and Dragon Age 1, actually. You'll see in a second.
Tell me why we shouldn't kill you now. The Conclave is destroyed. Everyone who attended is dead. Except for you.
As I said before, I'm gonna be good, so I'm gonna be doing fairly good things. You know, they said remain silent, but this is the only remain silent I remember being in the game. So I always thought like the last one was gonna be like evil or remain silent, but I'm pretty sure remain silent. This is like the only remain silent I remember in the game. There could be more. I'm just not remembering. But regardless, I'm gonna be very good. He's gonna be concerned for people's lives. So we're gonna go with the first one.
What do you mean everyone's dead?
Explain this.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I don't know what that is, or how it got there.
You're lying!
We need him, Cassandra.
Okay, so these are pretty cool. You can it can kind of give you like a little. They don't have these all the time, but they give you a little like description of what's the attitude he's gonna have. Like this one, well, obviously you can read it on the left there, but I'll give you a better in-depth description. This one is kind of like the evil one, or the quote-unquote evil one. This one is. This one's the very logical one, I believe. There's other ones where there's like the head and then there's like an exclamation point, like a hashtag in there, and that one's like what the fuck is happening type of thing. That one's kind of interesting. This one's kind of like the guy who doesn't give a shit about anything type of thing. It's kind of like, well, right, like as you can see there, it's like, well, what do we do now, sort of thing. This one was fun. I did this one a lot on my Quinari. But as I said, I'm gonna be good. And he's gonna care for people, so I'll do the crying eye.
I can't believe it. All those people dead?
Do you remember what happened? How this began?
I remember running. Things were chasing me, and then a woman.
A woman?
She reached out to me, but then
Go to the Ford Camp, Liliana. I will take him to the rift.
what did happen?
It will be easier to show you.
Now this is a very long game, so I'll try to cut this into a few different videos. I'll probably end here a little bit. I'll give you a taste of combat, and then I'll probably end it there, and probably start a new video tomorrow. And you know, hopefully you guys like how I'm approaching the game, but
We call it
I'm
the
ruining
Breach.
everything right now.
It's a massive rift into the world of demons that grows larger with each passing hour. It's not the only such rift, just the largest. All were caused by the explosion at the Conclave.
An explosion can do that?
This one did. Unless we act, the breach may grow until it swallows the world. Each time the breach expands, your mark spreads, and it is killing you. It may be the key to stopping this, but there isn't much time.
And I'll try to do all the investigations so you guys can, even though that might, you know, take a lot of time, I'll try to do them as much as I can so you guys can get a better understanding of what's actually happening and get everybody's opinions on it. So how could it stop this?
You say it may be the key. To doing what?
Closing the breach. Whether that's possible is something we shall discover shortly. It is our only chance, however. And yours.
You still think I did this? To myself?
Not intentionally. Something clearly went wrong.
And if I'm not responsible?
Someone is. And you are our only suspect. You wish to prove your innocence? This is the only way.
I understand.
Then...
I'll do what I can. Whatever it takes.
As you could see before, they have that approval, disapproval mechanic in this game as well, which I always liked.
They have decided your guilt. They need it. The people of Haven mourn our most holy, divine Justinia, head of the Chantry. The Conclave was hers. It was a chance for peace between mages and Templars. She brought their leaders together. Now they are dead. We lash out like the sky, but we must think beyond ourselves, as she did. Until the breach is sealed. There will be a trial. I can promise no more. Come. It is not far.
Where are you taking me?
Okay.
Your mark must be tested on something.
I'm controlling
smaller
the character
than
now, and yeah, as you can see, the visuals are pretty damn good. I mean, there's a mountain. I think we're in the Frostback Mountains right now. I'm pretty sure. Who was that? Okay, no, it's just a regular Chancellor dude, Chantry guy. Oh, let's check out the breach. There's the breach in all its glory,
Open the gate. We are heading into the valley.
which is the main point of the game, is that being there. We have some soldiers here. I'm pretty sure those are Redcliffe soldiers. I can't remember exactly. They look like Redcliffe soldiers. Let's keep going. Oh, he's hit. Oh, get up, you bastard.
The pulses are coming faster now.
That would have been hilarious if she just like slapped him in the face. Oh, you baby. Get your ass up.
How did I survive the blast?
They said you stepped out of a rift, then fell unconscious. They say a woman was in the rift behind you. No one knows who she was. Everything farther in the valley was laid waste, including the Temple of Sacred Ashes. I suppose you'll see soon enough.
Okay, I stopped there for a specific reason. You'll see in a second here. Alright, here we go. This is the first combat where fucking Cassandra's a beast. Alright, so I'm using the Xbox remote, so it's right trigger to hit, as you can see there. And I use, my abilities are on the bottom right there. basically have a taunt like any other MMO, and I have a regular bleed ability.
It's over.
Drop your weapon. Now!
Okay, so I'm being good, so I'm gonna be going with, gonna be nice.
All right. Have it your way.
Wait. I cannot protect you. And I cannot expect you to be defenseless. I should remember you agreed to come willingly.
Okay, guys. I'm gonna save it here, and
Take these potions.
I'm
Make a
going
note what we
to
will
end the
face.
video here.
Where
Just
are
gonna
all
check
your
this out real
soldiers?
quick. Yeah, I'm gonna
At
end.
the
I'm gonna
forward
end.
camp
Oh, what
for
the hell was
fighting.
that?
We are on our own for now.
Hold on. Maybe I can show you how to pick up things. I heard something. Okay, well, basically right now I'm searching the area. In this game, this is basically half the game. Is you click this thing like a billion times so you can pick up things. Oh, what the fuck? See, that noise basically means something's there. But I'm not saying anything. But yeah, basically, you click the button, whatever button you put it to, and it searches the area. My finger, I swear, I'm gonna get carpal tunnel from getting it because for the remote, it's the you click the analog stick. So I'm doing that all day. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's some loot right here, and the loot's not too bad. Oh, I can show you the inventory system real quick too. Here's the inventory system. You got your weapons. You can filter through them. Your armor. I think I just got a helmet too. Oh my god, that's a giant helmet, but I'm gonna put it on just because. With your armor, you can filter through them as well. Accessories, which is like your rings and your belt and your amulets. Crafting materials, yeah, there's a crafting mechanic in this game. It's very good. If you're crafting, I suggest not crafting anything for weapons. You can modify weapons, don't craft them. But definitely craft your armor. Crafting armor is very good, especially when you're able to do like masterwork crafting, and that's very good. And here's just your crafting recipes and schematics and whatnot. So yeah, I'm gonna resave. I'm gonna end it here, and yeah, have a good night, everybody.